Well, that was the 4th world record so far set in swimming at these Olympic Games, and of course the coverage of it was live. More live swimming coming up this evening, also live gymnastics when you'll be seeing the Romanian and the Chinese women. However, earlier today, the American women performed for the first time in the compulsory phase of gymnastics. Of course, their performances will be matched up against the live performances that you'll be seeing later tonight to determine the standings at the end of this compulsory phase. But right now, why don't we go back? Why don't we go back to earlier today when the American women performed? You saw the vault on our tees, as we call it. Now let's pick it up with the uneven bars.
Welcome to Pauley Pavilion and the second day of gymnastics competition. We see the women for the first time today in their compulsories. Hello, everybody. I'm Jack Whitaker, along with Kathy Rigby-McCoy, and we have the women's compulsories, which, along with their optionals in 2 days, will determine who wins the gold, silver, and bronze in the team competition. We're midway through, we're about ready for the second rotation in the second session, which features the United States and West Germany. And the United States, Kathy, has just gotten off flying.
They are just blowing everybody away. The crowd is with them. They are hitting their events. We have a very strong event coming up, but it's also very critical. A couple of our women are a little weak on some of the movements. If we can hit that, we're well on our way.
Well, after the first rotation, the United States is leading Japan. Germany is in 3rd place and Spain 4th. The Romanians, the strongest team, will go later on today. But the next event here for the United States is going to be the uneven bars. And we have a little strength there in Julianne McNamara, don't we?
And Mary Lou Retton. Both are very strong. Tracy Talavera, if she can get through it and she can set our team up, then we'll be ready to go.
All right, let's watch them work. We're now at the uneven bars with the United States. This is Tracy Talavera. Started out so well in the vault.
Tracy has to be a little nervous on this event. She was struggling a little bit during training camp, and while she has been here in the village on this routine. She's 5'3", excuse me, 109 pounds, and it's a lot more difficult for her to swing as it has been in the past when she was much smaller.
Yes, height is not necessarily an advantage for a gymnast.
Not on the uneven bars especially.
Don't see many 6-foot gymnasts.
Here's her glide to cut catch there. So far, so good. Let's see if she can make it up to this handstand. Very nice. Came down a little bit quickly on that handstand. She should have glided all the way to the handstand. Very nice routine for Tracy.
Nice landing, too, huh? Oh.
Good start for her.
Take another look, Kat.
I know this was a big worry for Tracy, but she's doing very well. Her glide catch was very good. A lot of swing as she grasped the high bar. Now this is an important move coming up. It's cast to a handstand. She should have been in the handstand as she made the turn, but not bad. She hit the vertical position on that handstand. Did not touch the bars with her seat as she pulled through the bar. Feet a little bit unpointed, but she rises above the bar, gets good distance, and a nice landing.
So the competition here on the uneven bars, waiting for the score. They have begun. Tracy looks rather content.
This has been a great comeback for Tracy. We didn't expect to see her after 1983. We thought she retired, but she has come back, made the Olympic team, and has performed so well thus far. She is a tough competitor.
All right, the score has been posted. Swings around here, 9-4-5. Few boos coming down from the gallery.
Well, it's certainly not the same kind of scoring that they got on the vaulting, but you have to take into consideration that the judges are different.
Now Pam Bilek, just up the road in San Jose.
Our team is showing more and more depth with the likes of Pam. She's been hitting well in practice, and with the World Championships under her belt, she will have better concentration, and this is a good event for her. High kick, cut catch, good position, nice form. He skipped right to the handstand, good turn in the handstand. Oh, big arch there.
That's not good.
Well, she didn't fall over, which would have really been a big break. Not quite to a handstand. She fell off the bars. Are not a great routine for Pam Bilek. She's done much better. But she held on, and let's see what the judges give her. Good position in the handstand there, the half turn. Now watch this. She really over-rotated that. She held on to it. That's what adrenaline will do. Big break. Let's take another look at that dismount. You see that she released the bar very early. You can see way under the bar. She should have popped above that bar, and the judges will deduct for that also.
Pam Bilek, and we're still waiting for her score on the uneven bars. And there it is. A 9 even. Gymnastics continue here at Pauley Pavilion. Kathy Johnson now at the uneven bars.
Kathy has to really be psyching herself at this point. This is the event at the Olympic trials that was disastrous for her. She's been working hard, she's perfected her, and if she's mentally prepared, this could be a very good event for her. Nice position on the shoot-through. This is the first part where Kathy had trouble in the trials. Let's see if she can overcome that. Good position, nice turn, right to the handstand. Just the dismount. Let's see if she can push that handstand up, slight break of the leg, but a nice pop off the horse. She's got to be happy with that routine.
Kathy Johnson, 24 years old. There's her mount.
She's been working, as I said, so hard on this event. Good position in the air. Legs come together there quite well. She gets good swing as she catches the high bar. Now this is where she had trouble in the trials. You can see she hesitated just slightly with her legs coming apart a tiny bit, not bad. Her seat should not hit the bar on that shoot-through. It didn't. Slight break in the legs there. And on this dismount, the judges are looking for the gymnast's hips to come away from the bar. They pull hard, and they should rise above that high bar and get good distance. And Coach Don Peters' head is right there.
Waiting for the score. Here it is. We need a good one. 9-6-0. And that helps a little bit. Remember, they throw out the lowest score and count only the top 5. So 9-6-0 will contribute to the cause, and that brings up Michelle Dusser.
If she can maintain her concentration and compete like she trained, she could score very well for the team. If I recall correctly, from watching practice, every element is executed with good technique. She has to watch her feet, but they're always pointed. All right, that's what the judges want. Good position in the air. She's swinging extremely well. Oh, very good. Right to the handstand. Great routine. This little lady knows she's done a good job.
Look at that. Woo! Michelle Dusser really stuck one. Listen to this crowd.
Michelle is so intense in training. She rarely smiles. It's all business, but today she can smile after that routine. Now she wants to make sure those judges know what she's done.
Waiting for the judges. 15-year-old Michelle Dusser. There it is. 9-8-5. And does that help? Mary Lou Retton has really made some headlines lately, and Kathy Rigby-McCoy talked with her.
Mary Lou, do you have any fears at all going into these Olympics?
No, I don't. I feel very confident, and I'm just going to go out and do the best that I can be. I know I'm preparing the right way that, anyone is. And hopefully everything's going to go all right. If you work hard, it's going to pay off. Hard work pays off.
Mary Lou Retton. She is ready.
As Mary Lou will tell you, she's had to really work on getting better swing because her body is so short. But this lady has the strength of 10 horses.
She got the Retton flip on this named after her, but it won't be in the compulsory.
No. She is ready. You can tell from the time she mounted those bars. This is a critical time right here. Now you can see that she bent her arms a little bit. We'll see if the judges take off with that. Right to the handstand. This lady goes all out for these routines. right into a handstand. Now there is a 2/10 deduction on those bent arms, but let's see what the judges say. Mary Lou has to be under a tremendous amount of pressure with the media coverage, with all the expectations from the coaches and gymnasts. What Mary Lou is to the vault, Julianne is to the uneven bars. Powerful. Her body type is perfect for this event. Now, let's take a look once again at Mary Lou's compulsory bar routine. You can see there her arms bend just slightly on that distance. She rose above the bar, although she got more distance than height.
9.80 for Mary Lou Retton.
And they probably took off a couple of tenths for those bent arms.
Wow. Julianne McNamara. Kill it, somebody else. Which means, of course, get a 10.
If she can keep her arms straight on her handstand. Nice extension so far. She really adds the flair. There's her handstand with a half turn. Bent arms there. Those could hurt our gymnast. Beautiful position on the bar. Kip to a handstand. Right in the handstand position. Pops way above the bar. Great routine for Julianne.
All right, Julianne McNamara on the uneven bar. She loves it. Take another look here.
Let's take another look at just her perfection. She shoots through. Very tight body on that shoot through. Now you can see that her arms do bend slightly on this handstand. She has such long arms, but very little. I doubt the judges will take off that. Look at that pop above the bar. And of course, what a landing.
But Julianne McNamara really would have seemed to have hit a nice beam.
It certainly looked that way.
Judges are having a little bit of discussion on it.
I might mention the head judge is Jackie Fye, one of the women on the women's technical committee, and she is at this time talking to some of the judges from the different countries. There might be a discrepancy in some of the marks.
All right, that's the story here while we're waiting for Julianne McNamara. We'll be back for that score in a minute.
Coming up, the women's 200-meter freestyle. It'll be live coverage. Could there be another world record in the making? Well, on that exercise that you saw of Julianne McNamara, she received a mark of 9.90, an outstanding mark. Later, we hope to show you the Americans on the beam and the floor exercises, compulsory exercises which took place a little bit earlier today. We'll be seeing live, remember, tonight, the Romanians and the Chinese women. Well, right now we're going to go back to the swimming stadium. More action coming up live. Let's go to Jim Lampley. All right, Jim, and so the United States has now won a total of 8 gold medals in these Olympics, and it's only the second day of competition. When we come back, we're going to pick up the competition of the American women in gymnastics. They performed earlier today, remember. Let's have a look at how it stood after 2 of the 4 rotations. The United States leading West Germany, as you see, and then Japan and Spain. When we come back, we're going to pick it up with the balance beam competition. United States gymnasts in action.
Here's Pam Bilek, born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, living now in Huntington Beach, California, and Kathy Rigby McCoy talked with her.
You had the opportunity to compete in one other world international meet in Budapest at the World Championships. How does this competition compare in pressure?
Well, I try not to, feel the pressure on any meet, but, there is a little more pressure because we do want to, we want to do really well as a team. But I think we're just going to have to let all the extra pressure, from the press and from, everyone, just kind of push it aside and do what we need to do.
All right, this is Pam Bilek now at the balance beam.
Pam has been fairly secure on all her events. You can see the flexibility shows there. She's had an ankle injury. She sprained her ankle during training, and we didn't think she would be in the competition. You can almost hear a pin drop. She's being very aggressive. Her leg was not horizontal all the way around, but she lifted it at the end on that full turn. There's a body wave. And here's that handstand half turn. Very nice. Little slower rhythm than Tracy, but she was right in the horizontal position. Very little experience in international competition. She's moving extremely well. There's her walkover. Let's see if she can hold on to this. Hitch kick. Usually the coach is looking the other direction. This is such a nervous event. There's her cabriole very high. And gainer tuck open.
Pam Bialik.
And the pressure didn't seem to affect her at all on that event.
Now we would figure that most teams would score lower on this than they would on the ball anyway.
Yes, especially on the compulsories. You don't want to get that 0.5 of a point deduction for falling off, so you control a little more. Let's take a look at this dismount. First she does the cabriole. Watch her knees pull up into the air and lift her high above the beam, and no steps on the land.
9-7-0 for Pam Bialik on the balance beam. Picking things up for the United States team. Now, Kathy Johnson.
Kathy probably has the best technique, better than most all the gymnasts in this competition. She's taken the ballet. Her lines and style are very good. If she can overcome any kind of nervousness, then she has a good chance at scoring very high here. Back handspring, you have to pop off those hands on that back handspring, meaning you have to get a little distance between your hands and feet before they touch. Here's her full turn. Better than most of the gymnasts in the competition. Very well. Here's that handstand half turn. Leg, back leg dropped a little down before it got into the horizontal position. Kathy doesn't seem to be very nervous. Her fluidity on this apparatus is quite good. I take it back, Jack. I think that music starting has to be a little distracting.
That would just make me jump 5 feet.
Walk over. This is the most confident I've seen Kathy. I think we saw it at the trials after she had that disastrous bar routine, and it hasn't stopped. And her dismount.
All right, Kathy Johnson, yeah.
Oh,
give me that smile.
What a nice routine. The hardest event over. Now she can relax just a little bit before the floor exercise. Kathy has become an incredibly tough competitor. She controls her nerves. Here's her cabriole. That leg comes right up. Watch her knees pull up into the air. This gives her the height that she needs. She opens up very high, almost in the vertical position, and a tremendous landing.
Waiting with Coach Don Peters for the judges.
Jack, and you can bet Don's nerves are on end at the moment, too. Trying to encourage and motivate and keep the girls right where they should be mentally.
Yes, Kathy came from way back in those Olympic trials to make this team. So she's, I think, better for that experience.
I think you're right. She certainly is a very good team member as well.
9.85 for Kathy Johnson. It was worth waiting for. What a lovely performance. Way to go, Kathy.
Oh.
Now, Julianne McNamara.
Julianne giving Kathy a little smile, but getting right back into her own world, having to concentrate. Julie has successfully kept her concentration in many world competitions, this being, of course, much more intense. The leg that is up should be in the horizontal position as they mount. She did that well. Julianne doesn't have the forward leg extension of some of the other gymnasts, but there's no deduction there. She did a good back handspring. Her roots also came from Dick and Linda Mulvihill, and they are especially good coaches on this event. She moved to Don Peters, Olympic coach now, and is now with Bella Caroli. And I've seen her go through this routine many, many times. Her front leg dropped just a little bit there, but she got it back into the horizontal position. There's her leap. Height is important on that. Very nice turn, good extension. And here's her walkover. No problem. You feel like you're walking on eggs when you're up there, no matter how much time you've spent on this apparatus. She had a little tiny bobble there, not more than a half a tenth, I would imagine. Showing her flexibility on her scale. Her cabriole, very high, good job. And her dismount. What a relief.
Julianne McNamara. Well, Kathy Johnson's 9.85 must have made her parents very happy, and Ann Simon is with them right now. Ann?
Nervous while you're watching Kathy on the beam?
Always. We've watched meets for 9 years now while she's been competing at this level, and it's always the same on the beam. It's really something that you never get used to. Yeah.
Very proud of her, aren't you, Mrs. Johnson?
Oh, very. The Olympics are so exciting. I'm so happy she can be part of this great American team. Great.
Thank you. Jack?
All right, Ann, thank you very much. And while you were up there, the score posted for Julianne was 9.85 to match Kathy. So we're down now to Mary Lou Retton.
As we've said many times, this is a critical event for Mary Lou. This is where her confidence and concentration will pay off. She has physically everything she needs to do a magnificent job. Mentally, she has to be there. Look at that extension on that. She had a little bobble, but she covered it up very well. I've seen Mary Lou go through 25 and 30 routines a day just on compulsory balance beam. She's not hesitating, being aggressive, not holding back. Here's her handstand, half turn, split. Couldn't be better. I think she's holding her breath the entire time she's up there. Mary Lou needs to work a little more on her toes. So far, she's doing very well. Here's her walkover. Holds her leg up at the end. Mary Lou is not holding back at all. You can tell that she's controlling every move. But her extension and her jumps are high. And her rhythm is good. There's her dismount. Pike open, and she flies above the beam.
There's that smile, Mary Lou Retton. Whew.
I think the compulsories are more difficult for Mary Lou than even her optionals. It's like holding a racehorse back. Let's take a look at her dismount. Watch how high she gets above the beam when she opens up. She's opening up right in the vertical. Not very many gymnasts can do it with that kind of stretch.
And it's a 9.85 for Mary Lou Retton. So the last three score 9.85s. Della Caroli, her coach, with the congratulatory hug, and Mary Lou is happy. She's smiling. And that's the way the gymnastic competition for women is going at Pauley Pavilion.
That was the third of the four events in the compulsory phase of gymnastics for the American women. We'll be seeing the fourth one a little bit later on. We'll also be seeing live in tonight's version of the competition, the Romanian and the Chinese gymnasts. Gee, it's good to know that behind me, all three of these Olympics, I will not be seeing a blizzard again, just clear skies. Remember Sarajevo? What else is coming up tonight? Well, think about it. We're going to have boxing, some of the Americans and other nationalities, of course, in competition, and women's volleyball. That's going to be a tremendous story here, and the story of the American team particularly is of great interest. So they're painting on a broad canvas, as we said at the beginning, and when we come back, we're going to be seeing the men's 400 individual medley competition in men's swimming. So that's the story up until here. There's a look at the swimming stadium itself. Oh.
winners of the 23rd Olympiad. Brought to you by the Coca-Cola Company and your Coca-Cola bottler. At the 1984 Olympic Games, Coke is it. By Levi Strauss & Company, official outfitter of the U.S. Olympic team. By Kmart, from quality merchandise to low prices. We've got it, and we've got it good. And by Delta Faucet. They're first because they last.
Well, I said at the beginning this evening not to expect the 6 gold medals for the Americans that we saw yesterday every day, because there are a lot of top athletic world powers here. We're seeing that tonight. The United States has won 2 gold medals, however, so far today. Ed Etzel in small bore rifle in the shooting competition. And if you weren't with us earlier, Mary Waite won the gold medal in the women's 200-meter freestyle, the silver, going to Sippy Woodhead, also of the United States. But the other countries are beginning to come on. It's going to be an extremely interesting international flavor to these Olympics all the way through. Just behind me, the Hollywood Hills. As I said, you'll see no snow-covered Alps there this time, not even the Dinaric Alps. We're going to return to the competition of the American women in compulsory gymnastics right now, picking it up with the final one, the floor exercise.
Pavilion, where the women's compulsories are being held in gymnastics. Here are the scores after 3 or 4 rotations in this session. The United States a commanding lead over Germany and Japan at the moment. Floor exercises, first up for America will be Tracy Talavera.
And at this point, Tracy must have a new confidence with brilliant performances on all 3 apparatuses, and this being her 4th. Her ballet has improved so much in the last year. Here's her first tumbling run, back handspring into a very high layout and extended right through to the leap. Tracy looks like she's just enjoying this competition. She doesn't look nervous in the slightest. She needs to get height out of this handspring, as she did right there, and height into the back handspring, which she did. This is where they can show a little of their personality. They're the handstand turn. She could have held that straddle up just a little bit. Here come the 3 back handsprings. Nice even tempo is what is needed. Look at that lift, as if she's flying. Okay, now this is a critical part. A full turn, no bobbles. All right, Tracy. If you take a look at this last tumbling run, the 3 back handsprings, you can see how each back handspring is nice and even. Just what the judges are looking for. And then she extends so high out of it. She gets good punch, jumps way up in the air to that high, high straddle. Cheerleaders would be envious.
Oh, wouldn't they? 9-6-0 for Tracy Talavera in the floor exercise.
Of course, that's alternate Marie Roethlisberger that just went out of screen.
And here is Michelle Dusser.
Excuse me, go ahead, Jack.
No, I was just saying, waiting for the green light. There's still some little delay there.
A lot of judges' meetings this Olympics.
Oh, she's right. A nice little strut. You gymnasts really have a strut to you, you know?
It's all part of the style. Michelle also has to be very confident at this point with such a great routine, especially on the uneven bars. Steadiness on the balance beam. She reminds me a great deal of Julianne. What a punch. I might mention that that floor exercise has little tiny springs under it. And not only are these gymnasts strong, but it also helps them to propel and saves the legs for injuries. So there's less injuries. Here's that second tumbling run. was on those. Now she'll play with the crowd a little bit. Handstand. What control. Run of the compulsories. And she also has springs. Now if she can just hold on to her nerves here. Excellent. Okay.
Michelle Dessert. There's her mother. Michelle Dessert's mother.
Sitting on pins and needles. Oh.
Wow.
There's Marie Roethlisberger, giving her encouragement. Let's take another look at that tumbling run. Even on these so-called simple tumbling moves, it takes a great effort. You want to control it. You don't want to overdo it. Okay, let's take one more look at another tumbling run. You can see the speed even built into these. Round off back handspring. 3 of them in a row, and you can see they're very even. The last one getting a little bit faster, and she just soars. All under control.
Just lovely. Waiting for the score. Tracy Talavera next to her. 9-7-0 for Michelle Dessert. Mrs. Dessert. Well, compulsory exercises are compulsory. I mean, you have to do certain moves, and here it is on the floor exercise, what we should look for. Kathy?
Well, this is Kelly Garrison, member of the Olympic squad. And some of these moves are especially difficult for the women. This is the handstand, pirouette, straddle down. And basically what the gymnast wants to do is have control. They are walking on her hands, making two pirouettes. On the straddle down, she's going to try to hold her legs up off of the ground, as you can see here. And when you're under pressure, sometimes it's difficult. And then they go into a pose. And the judges are looking for a perfect technique on every single move. And there are over 19 moves on the floor exercise that they have to do. This is another move that gives the women a great deal of problem. That leg should be in the horizontal on the ending. They try not to have any bobbles, and then they have their ending pose.
All right, the excitement builds in the gymnastic competition in the women's compulsory. We'll be back for more in a moment.
The games of the 23rd Olympiad continue.
Julianne McNamara.
As Bella will tell you, she is very much the style of Nadia. Julianne doesn't give away points for form breaks. She's the most experienced and has great concentration. See the very different styles between Kathy and Julianne. Julianne is much more athletic. She extends well, has the flexibility. Look at that layout. But not quite the arm grace of Kathy Johnson. But Julianne is extremely light on her feet. There's her second tumbling run. You can see her pop off the ground on that handspring and fly on this back handspring. It seems they all relax at this point. Nice positioning in the handstand and on the straddle. So about these back handsprings. Oh, she has wings, Jack. Back walkover. Now here's that turn. All right, Julianne. Woo.
What a sign.
And absolutely true. On this first tumbling run, you can see how light indeed she is. Watch her punch out of this back handspring and just fly. Way up in the air, way above her head, and straight body. No arch, no pike, and full extension. I don't think she thought she would get up quite that high.
You can see it so clearly on super slow motion,
Right.
too. Waiting for the judges. In a capacity-filled Pauley Pavilion, second day of gymnastics competition, Julianne McNamara,
Oh,
Bela Karolyi. I wouldn't like to get Bela mad at me if I were
I don't
a
think
judge.
so.
I wouldn't like to meet him in a dark
if I were a
forest.
judge, I would be very intimidated by him, I think.
Yes. All right, while we're waiting for that score, Ann Simon is with a man who should be very happy. He's the mayor of Los... Wait a minute, there's the score, and it's a 9.9, and we know Julianne McNamara's happy. I hope Bela Karolyi's happy with that one,
I'm
too.
sure he is. And that leaves only the 10 for Mary Lou Retton.
That's all that's left, isn't
That's
it?
right.
Ann Simon is with Mayor Tom Bradley of Los Angeles, and we'll get to him in a minute, but we don't want to miss this next package of dynamite. Mary Lou Retton, who could maybe somersault right out of Pauley Pavilion on this one.
We may not see her again on that first tumbling run. She loves this event. She loves performing for the crowd and the judges. And for no experience in world competition, Mary Lou has handled the pressure like a true champion that she is. Look at this. Oh!
Told you, she bounce into the rafters.
I think she could jump higher than the basketball players. Every move perfected. No deductions so far. In my opinion, of course. This audience is very knowledgeable of compulsories. I think everybody in this arena that watches compulsories has to be a coach or a gymnast or just a fan. And she flies again. If she can get through this full turn after the back walkover, there's no reason she couldn't get a 10. Oh. Well, let's see.
All right, Mary Lou Retton.
This may be the first 10 of the day.
Look at this place. Standing ovation.
Oh. This may be it.
All around now.
And if not, as you say, Bela Karolyi and Don Peters will be breathing down their neck.
Okay, Mary Lou. Boy, you're going to see and hear a lot of her the rest of this week.
I might mention the head judge is from Romania, so let's see what happens.
Aha. Romania, of course, to give the United States women their strongest challenge here, and the Romanians will be on this evening. We'll be able to see them live.
By the way, there's not much that the head judge can do if all the scores are in line. If there's not too big a discrepancy between those two middle scores.
All right, 9.9 for Julianne McNamara. Now let us see what Mary Lou Retton has. They're all chanting. Do you hear? The crowd is chanting 10, 10. I don't know whether that's pressure on the judges or not. Do you?
Oh, it has to be a lot of pressure.
There you go. That's Mrs. Dussert, 10.
And the team spirit and the parents, it has to be a great thing for these athletes.
995.
Oh, and they're not going to be happy with that.
That's disappointed look on Mary Lou's face. 995.
Did you ever think that you'd see the day where a 995 got booed? We have, as far as the judges are concerned, we have Romania, Sweden, Australia, Israel, and Italy.
995 for Mary Lou Retton. Well, we promised you Mayor Tom Bradley, so here now is Ann Simon with you.
And Jack, you know that Mayor Tom Bradley has the best seat in the House, especially watching that Mary Lou Retton performance. Were you disappointed with that score?
Well, she can do better, and I thought she was equal to a 10 there, so I'm disappointed, and I'm sure all of this crowd is.
Mayor Bradley, you have access to all the venues here. Why are you at Gymnastics today? What's the draw for you?
Well, I have a busy day every day. This morning at 4 a.m., I was with David Hartman on AM America. I had some duties in City Hall, and then a press conference with the mayor of Sarajevo, where we call for a cessation of hostilities in the world. I have been watching gymnastics, I guess, since Olga Korbut and Nadia Comaneci so popularized this sport, and I wanted very much to be here as often as I can, and so this was my first opportunity.
Mayor Tom Bradley, thank you very much. A big fan here at Gymnastics.
Thank you, Ann, and we're delighted to have him here to watch this American team who has really set a mark for the Romanians to shoot at now. They have been, as the men were yesterday, almost inspired. The home crowd advantage, I guess, has been a part of it, but they are, of course, the best team we have ever sent. The United States leads now after 2 sessions of compulsories, but remember the Romanians, again, the strong team here at these Olympic Games, will perform tonight. But it's the United States, West Germany, Japan, and Spain at this moment.
Of course, we'll be seeing the Romanians and the Chinese live tonight. Now, this is a live shot of an aerobics dancing class going on down in Santa Monica. If you don't think gymnastics has influenced America and the rest of the world, and they've been at it for well over an hour. They must really be in shape, I'll tell you. More gymnastics, more boxing coming up. Haven't seen any boxing yet, but you will. Swimming, the Olympics continue.